got some insane news that this villain could be making a reappearance in the MCU's fourth Spider-Man movie. And I'm letting you know right now, this news really might shock you. But that's not all, because I also have a theory on how this sets up huge ramifications for not just Spider-Man 4, but the MCU at large. And me and you, we gotta talk about it. Bokeem Woodbine, who plays Shocker number 2 in Spider-Man Homecoming, teased his return in not just Spider-Man 4, but for the MCU. He was specifically asked, MCU related, where is the Shocker? Where did you go? To which he said, that's a very good question. I'm wondering the same, but I got a feeling it might not be the last time you see the Shocker. And honestly, I'm not shocked. But I want to point out a couple of things before we get into the theory. Notice how they said MCU related and not Spider-Man related. Because dog, if I got packed up by Ned fucking Lee, I'm signing a contract ASAP to put me back in here. I gotta get my lick back plus. And hopefully this time he looks something more like this. I don't feel like this is a hard look to accomplish MCU. Let's do it. And please have him in the opening scene of Spider-Man 4. Robbing a bank, Spider-Man taking him out. I've always wanted to see that in a Spider-Man movie in live action. And funny enough, back when I made my version of Spider-Man 4 story, that's how I opened up the movie. You should go check that out if you haven't, because I think it's peak. But I absolutely love that they're picking back up on the threads from Spider-Man Homecoming, because honestly, Spider-Man Homecoming set up a lot of future villains for Spider-Man and the wider MCU. And here's where the theory kicks in. I mean, it's really not a theory. This is all from the source material of the comics. And it ties in beautifully and perfectly with what's going on in Daredevil Born Again right now. You got Wilson Fisk, who became the mayor to outlaw vigilantes. Clearly taking inspiration from the Devil's Reign storyline, it has to come into effect in Spider-Man 4 in the MCU because Spider-Man is a vigilante. But it won't just affect Spider-Man 4. I think it's going to play a huge role in the next season of Daredevil and the Thunderbolts. Let me explain. In the Devil's Reign storyline, much like Born Again, Wilson Fisk outlaws vigilantism. But how does he enforce that? By setting up Thunderbolts units across the city. Now, I don't think it's going to be this version of the Thunderbolts because honestly, this isn't even the Thunderbolts, but this is probably where the initial idea comes from. People who have been incarcerated and are easily to be manipulated and controlled to do the government's bidding. And I mean, in the comics, the Thunderbolts have had a bunch of different teams with a bunch of different heroes and villains on it. A couple of the mainstays being Zemo, Hawkeye, Winter Soldier, obviously Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, but in the MCU, it doesn't look like that's going to be the thing. But much like my story theory for the MCU Spider-Man 4, this means Wilson Fisk is going to be looking for incarcerated villains to take down vigilantes. So that's how we can see the reappearance of Donald Glover as not just Aaron Davis, but the Prowler. That's probably where they get all their technology and suits and weapons. So I think this all opens up the door for all of those villains from Homecoming to return, just like Michael Mando's Scorpion. And please let that happen so I can stop seeing this fucking tweet every day. Which, funny enough, Michael Mando himself actually retweeted, so, you know, he feeling it. And bring him back in a damn Scorpion suit. Give me the storyline where he gets trapped on his body. Throw JJJ in there. I'm sure JJJ will be happy to fund this experiment since he hates Spider-Man. It's all there. Just connect the dots, MCU. You know, preferably his suit would look something like this. Hey, yo, my head placement is kind of crazy. But I'd be happy to meet in the middle and just settle for what they gave us in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Because if he's anything like this Scorpion, he's going to be a demon. But let me know what you think about this news down in the comments below. And who do you want to see be the villain in MCU Spider-Man 4 movie? Drop a comment down below. And as always, like and follow for more.